Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Dr. Zane, and on this channel I react to videos that interest me. So if that sounds like your thing, make sure you subscribe right now and give this video a big thumbs up because I already know you're going to enjoy it. So as you can tell from the title of this video, we're going to be talking about Puff Daddy, aka Puffy, aka P Diddy, aka Diddy, aka Brother Love. I don't know why I cannot stick with one name. Anyway, except if you've been off the internet this entire time, you must have heard what has been going on with Brother Love. And recently, a couple of days ago, a video surfaced of, anyway, let's just see it.
New surveillance footage obtained exclusively by CNN appears to corroborate some of the allegations of abuse against music mogul Sean Diddy Combs. The video, captured on multiple cameras, shows Combs.
If you've ever been hit, then you know what, like you know just a bit of what she's going through right now. Like if you've ever been hit in any way, maybe not as much as her or maybe more than her, then I think you can feel her pain right now. Like I was hit once, and I promise you, for the first like 5 seconds I could not breathe well. It was like before I could breathe, and I'm not even joking, like this is not an exaggeration. And I still remember, like, and that was just one punch. That was literally just one punch. Now this man, this grown-ass man in a towel, which is just Raz, okay, Raz AF. Like right from when we were children, we've been hearing about Puff Daddy, and he was like just this huge idol that everybody who, like, you never would have guessed that Puff Daddy would be running out of his hotel room after a woman who is clearly escaping from him stealthily in a towel. You never would have, like, he's so Raz. Like, people, you see people in public or on camera, wherever, and they dress up and they look just really well put together. You know that in here they are very scattered. If somebody is escaping from your hotel room stealthy, she didn't even put on shoes. Like, that's when you know that it's real. Like, she did not even put on shoes. And then you run after her, and then you picked her up and flung her to the floor just to show that you're a powerful man who has strength and you can do whatever you want with her. And you flung her to the floor, and then you decided to kick her again and say she's a football. Yeah, you are really a powerful man. Yeah, a very powerful man. And then let's see, you kicked her again, and you kicked her on the hip, like the way, like she was already on the floor and she wasn't moving, and then you kicked her and she had to take her hand and put it on that hip where you kicked her. That like, I felt that. I really felt it, because it's just like, it speaks to the amount of pain she must have experienced at that moment. Like, pain gets to a certain point where you cannot move, and then but you just have to, you know what, I cannot. And then the fool
in this video.
I'm sorry, did I just say a fool? Well, this human being decided to grab her by the arm, or is it by the hair, like a Neanderthal that he is, and dragged her to a corner. Clearly, he must have been on something. Either that, or he just has serious anger issues, or he's just a monster. Whichever one, but that's not even the issue here. The issue here is all of you, like, this should be a lesson. All of you who, okay, there are a couple of people, but first of all, many of the people now who are like, oh my god, I cannot believe Diddy did that. I cannot believe I've seen this disgusting footage, this very troubling, very disturbing footage. You were the same people who were saying that you're not sure if Cassie was saying the truth when she came with all those allegations. Remember that? You were saying that you don't know if she was saying the truth. Well, where's the proof? Where's the proof? Yeah, some of you were like, you did not believe her. You knew you did not believe her. Many people did, great, but some of you did not believe her. Now you're like, oh, how disturbing for your life. So I would just like to say, if you're one of those people, repent, and the next time you hear somebody talk about how they were assaulted by somebody, even if you're going to be skeptical, at least don't just dismiss their claims completely. Don't dismiss their claims out of hand without actually maybe looking into it a little bit, or even leaving some room for, you know, just the acceptance of that, just leaving some room, allowing that there is a possibility of that being true, regardless of the person who they are accusing of that crime. right? You cannot say, oh, I know this person is perfect, there's no way he can do that, there's no way he can. Anybody can do anything, my sister, my brother. Anybody can do anything. And this is the problem with children who get assaulted by close family members, by their uncles, by their step-parents, by the house girl, by the neighbor, by the teacher, you know, the tutor, the private lesson teacher, somebody. And the children would be afraid to talk, and the person assaulting them will tell them, you know, obviously now I'm not even talking about physical assault, you know, the other kind of assault I'm talking about, the SA. And the other person will tell them, nobody will believe you, and they'll be afraid of speaking because they will think, yeah, nobody will believe me indeed, right? This is what happened. This is when people, I'm just going to say, when somebody tells you, or when somebody comes out and says, this person did this to me, or this happened to me, do not just dismiss it completely out of hand. I'm not saying you should accept it without asking for proof, but at the very least, let there be some allowance in your mind and in your attitude and in your response for the fact that that might actually be the truth. And it's always better to err on the side of caution than for somebody to actually be experiencing that kind of assault or some other kind of assault, and you could be in a position to make it stop, but because you just do not want to allow yourself to believe something like that, because it's just not unfathomable to you, and you allow that to continue, right? Because you dismiss their claims, you allow that to continue. This should be a lesson, because many of you were like, no, we did not see the footage. So if we did not see this footage, many of you will still be like, no, it's not possible, I think Cassie's lying, she's lying, we don't believe her. Many of you will still be like that. So don't come here and say, oh, this disturbing footage. Don't, shut up, okay? You knew you did not believe her. And now the next batch of people I'm going to rant to, or I'm going to rant about, are the people who, especially in this amazing continent called Africa, when we talk about domestic abuse, and the woman, sometimes the man will come to that, the woman comes and says, oh, my husband beats me, and your first instinct is to say, what did you do? What did you do? I beg you, please stop. Okay, please stop it, because you are saying that there will be some things that she can do, that she could have done, that would warrant her being beaten like that, and that if he's beating her, then there has to be a reason. Or some of you who try to raise your daughters or your nieces or your like cousins or whoever, and when they misbehave, what do you say? You say, oh, that kind of behavior is what makes many husbands beat their wives, because they don't clean well, or because they don't cook well, or they, like, if you're an African and you've heard this statement before from a woman to a girl child, then, you know, comment below if you are comfortable with it. But I cannot tell you how many times I've heard that. I can't tell you how many times I've heard that from different people. It is just a normal rhetoric, right? Like, this behavior is what makes a lot of husbands beat their wives, as if you should expect to be beaten, and it's a normal thing. It's a normal thing. I beg you, stop. Like I said already, if you hear of a woman being beaten by her husband, and your first instinct, let your first instinct just not be to ask, what did she do? Remove that. Just reprogram your mind, so that if you want to come up with that, tell yourself to stop, filter it out, and think of something else to say. Something that would be more empowering, something that would be more supportive, something that would be to try to figure out how to get her, to help her get hers back, or at least help remove her from that situation. Okay, first and foremost. Now, for the men who might experience assault, domestic abuse, because yes, they do experience domestic abuse, many of them cannot speak out. Now, if you hear of a man who is experiencing domestic abuse from his wife, and the wife is a monster, the way many other men are monsters to women, and she pours hot oil on him whenever she's angry with him, but she pours it on his back or on parts of his body that would be covered by clothing, because she knows that she doesn't want people to know about it. Or she takes hot iron and puts it on his back just to punish him. and you hear about that and you're like, he's such a weak man, he's such a puny ass man. How can he call himself a man if a woman is beating him? Shame on him, shame on him. He should be ashamed of himself. He's such a coward. And he's coming here to tell us, instead of him to just cover his face with like 10 yards of material and just go and hide his face in shame, he should never be able to speak it out. How dare he speak about it? And if you're one of those people, I beg you and I pray you to stop, okay? Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. As you can tell, I'm sure you can tell at this point, I don't really care about Diddy. Okay, I know we'll come to that in a moment, but I'm just telling you, stop it if you're one of those people. Okay, stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop blaming the victim. Stop blaming the victim in any way, but that, whether by saying there was something she could have done that could have warranted it, or by telling him that he's a coward and he's weak for having a woman abuse him. Okay, stop it. Stop it. I pray that thunder will not fire you. Alright, enough said. Now back to the Diddy issue. It's clear that Diddy must have been doing this for years. This was, I think this footage was from 2016. I'm sure that was not the first time it happened. I'm pretty sure that was not the first time it happened. Don't ask me how I know, okay? Because you don't just wake up one day and decide to start beating your partner. No, you must have been doing it in some other ways before that time. 2, I heard that Diddy paid the hotel staff like $50,000 to keep quiet about it, to give him the footage, and then they kept quiet. They were complicit in that crime, and I hope somebody sues them. And I heard that, well, first of all, it's even stupid. Whoever collected $50,000 was very stupid, because this guy was worth like hundreds of millions at the time. So $50,000, if you want to be a criminal, at least be a sensible criminal, so that when they sue you, when they charge you to court and you get, you get convicted for this crime, you know that you actually did the crime well. Don't be a stupid criminal. How can you collect $50,000 to cover that kind of an egregious offense from somebody who is worth hundreds of millions of dollars? Like, at least we should be hearing meal. Like, meal, let us talk about meal. Like, not like open your stupid man and say $50,000 and that's it. If that actually happened. And I'm not saying people should be blackmailing people before somebody comes for me, please. I'm just saying, don't be a stupid criminal if you're going to be a criminal. Because you will get caught, okay? You will get caught at some point. So at least when you get caught, you know that you enjoyed your time as a criminal before you go and enjoy your time in prison. Now, I hope those people get sued. But I also heard that this guy is not going to get arrested, which honestly I'm not. Well, I heard that he's not going to get charged by the state. Let me be more accurate. I heard that he's not going to get charged by the state based on that footage, because it has passed the statute of limitations at this point. Okay, that doesn't speak about the federal charges he's facing, so maybe something will happen there, but I'm still not going to hold my breath, because okay, this guy, and there are people who have had this evidence, as well as many others who have had it on him for a very long time and have more, and they are releasing it when they want to, because he did something to somebody. We've been hearing stories about Hollywood and how you have to get owned, and before you get big, you have to be owned by some powers that be, and you have to do what they say, and you have to say what they tell you to say, and you have to basically live your life the way they tell you to do, and you have to be a part of their cultish rituals and their cultish parties and do all this disgusting stuff that they do. And they basically have debts that they hold over your head, and sometimes even if you're not into the dirty stuff, they force you to do dirty stuff, so that, and then they video that so that they can hold it over your head, and so that you basically do whatever they tell you to do your entire life, or you will get destroyed. So I'm not even surprised about this, and I know, because you would ask that if this video footage was present this entire time, why did it come out when it came out? How did it just appear all of a sudden? And the people that, or let's say Cassie, who, I think started this ball rolling and decided to press charges against him. Why did she press charges against him when she pressed charges against him? I heard it was in November last year. Why was it then? Why not September last year? Why not November 2022? Why? And this is more than what we can see, what a lot of people think is happening on the surface. Diddy has done something to the people who own him, and they are trying to show him that they own him. Okay, he has annoyed somebody. he has stepped on somebody's toes, he has done past himself, he has crossed certain bounds, certain boundaries, certain lines, and somebody is trying to tell him that he's not as big as he thinks he is. That's a big deal. So anyway, me, I'm not even like, I'm just here to pass across the message I came to pass across. When you hear about abuse, don't ever unknowingly, because I know many times that accusation of victims, that blaming of victims is a part of our program. It's not that people do it on purpose. Okay, many times they don't even understand the meaning of what they are doing. So that's why I'm calling your attention to it. Don't blame the victim whenever you hear about it.